You spend 80% of your time just trying to survive in that environment, and the more effective you are at surviving in those environments, the more that you will flourish and be able to execute your mission. So Arctic Edge 20 is a joint and combined exercise between Canada and the United States, sponsored by US Northcom and put on by Alaskan Command here in Alaska. So the objectives of Arctic Edge were to provide a training opportunity within the Arctic environment for service components and tactical elements to be able to integrate and learn lessons and operate within the Arctic. To be able to communicate and operate in a homeland defense scenario across Alaska, and then to integrate all the elements of the joint force in here in an Alaska scenario and execute the command and control that would be surrounding that kind of an operation.
Roger, stand by.
So there are three exercises kind of going on coincidental. So Arctic Edge, Northcom exercise, primarily active duty focused, integrating the elements in a homeland defense scenario. Arctic Eagle, Alaskan National Guard exercise, and then the United States Navy's conducting its ICEX exercise up just off of the North Slope. Transport aircraft that are here to work with Arctic Edge are supporting the Air National Guard's exercise Arctic Eagle. The Arctic Eagle exercise, which has Guardian Angels from the 176th Wing jumping into the ice camp that's north, which is, the United States Navy's ICEX exercise, using Air National Guard and active duty aircraft to do those jumps. I mean, you can see the crossover points, and there's a series of vignettes or scenarios across Alaska that are crossover points between those exercises, so that everybody gets the benefit of working with tools that they might not necessarily have had the advantage of.
The weather is an extreme challenge up here, so it's definitely tested our ability at Fort Wainwright to implement a lot of the train-up strategies that we employ throughout the year to make sure our soldiers are ready in the Arctic, and it's given us a great opportunity to share some of those lessons learned.
Well, what you see is an intimate and integral relationship between the various components. It is a ski-equipped C-130 aircraft from the National Guard and the Air Force domain that's providing them support to get out on the ground. Canadian transport aircraft from Yellowknife are providing support to the United States Navy to move up onto the ice, where you see Air Force and Army intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities supporting any of the components with intelligence information. Again, an integrated approach to all operations that happens almost seamlessly because the teams expect that that's what's going to happen. So you have United States Army Alaska troops that are here, the Arctic Warriors. They're participating in the exercise, but they live and breathe in this environment. They're pretty much well attuned because they are the Arctic Warriors. But we have Marines that are coming up from the southern United States. One of the lessons we learned in past Arctic Edges was that passing them through individual training in the Arctic Warfare Center was essential to being able for them to learn all those basic lessons of how to take care of yourself in the Arctic. And then what we were talking about before about, spending 80% of your time trying just to survive, they now have those skills, so they'll spend more time out on the actual exercise time frame applying their skills and projecting combat power and learning those combat lessons.
I think it's a tremendous opportunity for us as a force at Fort Wainwright. It's kind of America's premier force in the Arctic to train along with partners in the Arctic, strategic partners like the Canadians that are up here, and then some of the other units, including the Marine Air Ground Task Force. I think, short of actual conflict, there's no environment like the Arctic to test complex systems in a friction-rich environment.